Now, over the last few days and weeks, people have come up with all sorts of other arguments to me, trying to demonstrate that this must be an infection with the virus. Even though it's very clear that there is a way, and I would actually say there's only one way, and that is to use the gold standard to demonstrate infectious etiology. So people say things like, well, there's 2,000 people who died in the same place of this, so it must be an infection, which is, of course, ridiculous, because unless you think dropping the Hiroshima bomb was a virus or an infection, what I'm told is 500,000 people died more or less the same day or week, or I don't exactly know how soon. So a large amount of people dying in a certain proximity has nothing to do with proving infectious etiology. And then they say, well, but this is spreading all over the world, as if something that spreads proves infectious etiology, because of course it doesn't. And an example of that was apparently they had a nuclear explosion in Chernobyl, and then over time it spread over to all throughout Europe, I'm told, and made people sick all over Europe. Unless you think the Chernobyl accident was a virus, it's very clear, and I could give you many other examples, and Andy went through the entire problem with the whole 1918 flu pandemic, where they literally proved that you could not transmit this so-called virus. They did it by having people, one person who was sick and another person who was not sick, and they did this with 100 people. They did it at the Boston Health Department, and they both held their breath, and then they put their lips almost touching as if they were going to kiss. They opened their mouth, and then after they held their breath, the person who was sick exhaled into the mouth of the person who wasn't sick, and not once in the 100 people could they transmit the virus. They did a bunch of other studies on this and essentially demonstrated this could not possibly be an infection. So even the transmissibility all over the world does not prove it's infection. Again, the only way to do that is to do it the way we're told is the only way, which is the Koch's postulates way.